John. Hello, hello. Nice seeing you again.
All right, there you
All right.
Did I write down questions?
Yeah, so here are the questions that you have. Do I have attachments that are controlling me? And what was the name that I had as an Anunnaki general?
Okay, so let's jump to the general one.
Okay.
Let's go to the first one, and then I would like for my second question. We hit on this twice so far.
Okay.
Being inside of a temple, go figure.
Yeah, yeah.
And as a child, sitting there staring at a vortex and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How about a little more information on that one?
Yeah, perfect. And then we'll just see if there's anything else that your guides want you to know.
Please.
Cool. All right, 1 second, Jim. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Lots of information here. And we'll get to the kind of any attachments or things like that as well. But immediately, right away, your guys, which is kind of mentioning a bit of the attachment thing. But right away, your guides are just wanting to kind of confirm or validate to you that you're getting to a place in your life right now in this lifetime where you're becoming, this is how they put it, less dense. Like you're really shifting your vibration, and like I don't know, like it just seems like a lot of healing, a lot of movement, a lot of like they just want to really validate for you that you've done a ton of work and you're at a place now where you're less dense. It's just such a weird way to put it, but you know what they mean, right? Like your vibration, your body, like it just feels like you're very, yeah, like just there's a lot of like really nice movement. I don't see a lot of heaviness around you, which is awesome. And let me just on that kind of vein, because they just started to go into the temples and the pyramids and just so many things, but I want to just double check with them about any sort of attachments, entities, anything you need to be aware of. Okay. Okay, so you don't have anything on you. You do have some activity that's happening in your house. Okay, it's really interesting because your house is quite activated, and it's I don't know how to put it, but like okay, I had to ask your spirit guides to explain it to me, and here's how they explained it. I said, this is how I saw your house. It's like there's like this white light dome inside of it. And then there's these corners, I guess corners of the room that the dome isn't like covering. And the entities are kind of outside of this dome and they so badly want in, but they don't go in because they know that the light is too bright for them. So I'm like, what the hell are these entities doing? Just hanging around. Maybe that's kind of what you're feeling or picking up on. And they said, and this is a really great analogy, that it's like having one of those bug zappers, right? The bugs are drawn to the light. They fucking want your light, but they know that if they get too close, they're transmuting into the light. So they're hanging around, which is really fascinating. Okay, and they're just drawn to the activity. They're drawn to that energy. I just want to ask your spirit guides if there's anything you can do for that, and then we'll get into all the portal stuff. 1 second. Yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. 2 things they recommend. These are things that I do as well, so they just brought this up. One is like literally just telling them like, get out, this isn't your home, and they will listen, okay? You can tell entities to get out, they'll listen, but they'll usually always come back. What's going to prevent them from coming back is really doming your home with the pure white light, expanding the dome. You have a dome, expand it, and then also the invisibility cloaking as well. Like sometimes, like when I lived in a condo complex, I would cloak the whole thing. It's just like you're not even allowed in this building, period. So you could expand it to your street, property. You could really expand it out, and just being aware that that's going to really prevent them from coming back around. Okay, but that's just think of a bug zapper. It's essentially what's going on. So funny analogy. Okay, I mean, immediately you guys were talking about this image, this depiction of you in this temple. It was so cool. And then I also saw you in so many similar positions, but also in different buildings, different sacred buildings, like in many past lifetimes, like very ancient lifetimes, like going way back, both on and off this planet. And there was another lifetime where I saw you inside a pyramid, and like there was all these like sound like resonation devices, but also like vortexes in the pyramid and stuff. And I'm like, what the hell? And they called you, and we might have talked about this before in other sessions, but they called you like a keeper. They keep calling you a keeper. You're a keeper. So we talked about you doing the vortex portal activation, like the grid, the planetary grid work. You know, you're very connected to that, and activating the grid, right? Very connected to that. But they're also saying that you're like a keeper of this ancient knowledge, and you're a keeper of the vortexes. Like it almost felt like you were anointed to be a guard or a guardian for these sacred locations. So it's funny how in this lifetime, we've talked about you activating these sacred locations. And in a lot of past lifetimes, you have been the keeper of the sacred locations and the guardian of the sacred locations. I even see you in indigenous lifetimes being a keeper of inner earth openings as well, like at the front of caves. I've seen you be a keeper of that. And so then I had to ask, I said, okay, this is cool. You're basically like a bodyguard for like the sacred, right? And so then I said, so how does this affect you? Like, how do you benefit from this? And what they said was, oh yeah. So in exchange for your bodyguard energy or your keeper energy is what they call it, you have been allowed to access that knowledge. You've been allowed to access that ancient wisdom that you're holding sacred, that you're keeping there. Um, and some of these lifetimes you lived for hundreds, if not thousands of years, right? On different planets and for different structures and different places, sacred places. And so you've been able to kind of like, yeah, guard that portal active opening, right? But you've also been able to step into it and gain access to those pieces of information. I just want to ask you, spirit guides, if you should be doing anything with the information. I know you've accessed and brought through it quite a bit, and we'll see if there's anything else that they want you to know at this time. Okay. That's cool. Okay, great. So two things. One is like, what do you do with the information? And your guide said that there's nothing that you really need to do with the information. And this is how they described it to me, which I thought was like just perfect description. They said that through all of these lifetimes, you piece together these really deep, ancient pieces of the universe, and you hold that this almost like this complete puzzle within your soul. And so they said that in this lifetime, any sort of sacred spot, any portal work, any grid work that you do, you're not only healing the grid by piecing the grid back together on this planet, but you're also emitting and sharing the pieces of what you've gained access to in the grid as you're doing that work. So it's like really cool. Like you're just naturally sharing that vibration. You don't even need to know what that information is. You're naturally sharing it just by stepping into those portals and activations, which is incredible. And you've got one in your home that you work with. So that's amazing. So that's just, there's not much else that you need to be doing in that regard. The second thing that they mentioned was, what was it? Oh yeah, I said, is there anything else in general that you need to know or that you need to be doing at this time? They said that you're really in alignment with your own balance, with the spiritual balance, just the balance basically. But they did say that one thing that you can keep in your mind and set an intention for more often is like amplification, amplifying. You're an amplifier, just really like every day. Like, what do you want to see for the planet? How do you want to help heal others? Like, just really, and you already do that, I know, but just to have that as a main intention in your mind, amplifying that frequency of what you want to see for the world. Okay. As always, thank you, John. Such a pleasure having you in my frequency. Bye. All right, let's move on over to